So, hi, Margot. As usual, always good to catch up with you. I flippin' miss you. Anyway, that's not what it's all about. Just for people who are listening, who might be at the conference or might just be listening on YouTube or whatever the score is, tell me how and why on earth did we meet? Where did our journey start for you?
Well, first time I met you was actually when I was really little, handing out chocolate biscuits at hockey, because your son was on my primary school hockey team and you were giving us little chocolate chip biscuits at the end of the game. I really liked them. It was quite tasty. Really good. If you could please make me some, I'll come grab them. But then we actually properly met and started our relationship when I was year 13, so last year. And we met for a reason that wasn't actually what we ended up searching for. I didn't know where I was going to go to uni. That was kind of the big thing. And it was because I'd always thought I was going to Lincoln. And that's where I am now. I'm at Lincoln now. But I always thought I was going to Lincoln. And then year 13, I had like this little identity crisis because everyone was telling me like where I should go and what I should do. And then I was selling myself short. And I kind of let it get to me a bit. And so then mum was like, oh, I know the person for you and set me up with you. And we started to talk over to figure out what I want to do with my life. And then after a few kind of hurdles, we realized that there was actually kind of a bigger picture thing going on and that I did know where I wanted to go. I was just kind of I was doing everything for everyone else, not for myself. And I seemed really happy on the outside, but I was actually not myself. I was doing everything for everyone else, just not myself. And I got pretty weighed down by it. And I felt like I was competing constantly. Yeah.
Oh my God, you've made me laugh. I've completely forgotten about the chocolate chip cookies way back. And I'll let you know, Margot, I can make them anytime because now I don't have to make 120 a week because both William and Annabelle are leaving the bay this summer. And so therefore, my chocolate chip cookie days so there'll be a joy to make occasionally. That was so funny. I forgot about that. That's really funny. And then, yeah, absolutely. I love the fact that you shared, like, we came for one thing, which was to find out what career you were going to do. You knew you wanted to go to Lincoln, but you kind of wanted to work out which course was going to be best for you. And then we realized that I can do everything from head of boarding to deputy girl, head girl, to all the 500 million things that you were doing was basically being driven by proving yourself to other people.
Yeah.
You have got a massive heart for other people. There's no ifs and buts about it. Or you were in competition, possibly with another family member, slightly stretched out. But it was like you just had to it was almost like you had to elbow your way through. Hey, look, I am a good person, or whatever it might have been, and you are. But there was kind of like this thing, and you were just on this treadmill of, just hundreds of things you had to do.
Yeah, I was doing everything. I think it was because like in year 7 when I started school, I started boarding. There were only 2 of us who were boarders in year 7, and we're like, I was really homesick. So I was like, oh, well, if I fill up all my time with stuff, then I don't have time to be sad. And then eventually it got to the thing like I got kind of good at the stuff that I'd filled my time with. So I was like, oh, I'll keep doing this because it makes other people happy. And then I was doing so many random things. I look back on it, was kind of funny. So I was doing hockey quite a bit, like in the middle. Then I was also coaching, and I was also in the school production when I didn't even like music or theatre. I'd auditioned as a joke because one of my friends, mum told me it would be good for my uni. I was doing everything for like to get a uni scholarship, which actually kind of paid off. But like, mum said to audition, and my friend dared me to go for a lead. So then I became a lead, and I was doing hockey, I was playing cricket, I was doing everything at the same time, and coaching and doing peer tutoring, being deputy head girl. It was quite a bit, and I was trying to get good grades at the same time, when really none of it was kind of actually me. I was just doing it for other people. And I'd do, like, if anyone message me going, oh, like, can you do this? Like, oh, of course. And I stopped doing something to go help someone else. Yeah. And I called you again this year because I went to uni, and I went to uni, I was doing really well. Then in the middle, a few like contributing factors happened, and then suddenly I fell back into the pattern of just on the treadmill and doing everything for everyone else, not for me. And then I had a breakdown and called you, and you helped me again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a good 0800 number to have, is 0800 Sally. Because once I've worked with somebody like we did, and we went through the course that we did, we get to know each other quite well. But the joy of it is, like it's like, oh, Margot, remember, see that little thing there? See that thing? See, shoot, yeah. But what I loved is we had one phone call and a chat, and you were straight back on track. You were like, right, no, I know exactly what I need to do. I'm on track. And that's the goal. The goal, it's a little bit like, airplanes always get to their destination. And look at you. You finished this year like gold. Oh, just got 3 A's and an A minus. Holy heck. Like, go, sister.
Oh, can't complain,
It's like, yes. And who did you do that for? Who did you do that work for those exams for?
Oh, me, because I remember because we end up doing the career thing at the end of it. And one of my goals at the end of it was that I wanted to graduate with BAg Sci honours. And I know that in order to get into honours, you have to work right from the beginning you get there. And if you get an honours, you can get a better degree. And I want a good career. So I worked really hard to hopefully try achieve my goal that I set back in year 13 with you.
And look at you, you're on the path. And again, this is just gold. This is kind of a bit of coaching as well as technically we're doing an interview. We'll have to cut some of this out. But look, when you know what the end is, when you know what your purpose is, when you know what drives you personally, and you're intrinsically motivated to go out and do something with farming and to make a difference, because that's your heart, that's your passion. And what's lovely is you're doing it for you, and you know where you want to go. So it gives you that motivation to stay on track, but also, and we gave you all the tools so that when you do go, a little bit, no, it's okay, I've got it, I can get back on track. Because life isn't a straight line. There's always going to be ups and downs and things, and just like your scenario with your work over the summer holidays. And you're like, no, we're not going to, this isn't going to work. Right, let's see. And I love the fact that you have always been a solution finder. You're like, right, this isn't working, let's do this. So I think even though you were doing everything for everyone else, actually it has stood you in good stead, because you can do anything you put your mind to. And you know that you are good at solving problems, and you're brilliant at working with people, because actually it was always stuff you were good at. You just needed to do it for you. You just needed to flip the tables from doing it to please other people to actually doing it for pleasing yourself. And I'm going to ask you a curly question now, because I love this. When you do it for you and you are who you are, do you find you've got more friends or quality?
Yeah.
Isn't it like the weirdest thing? Most people are on the treadmill trying to prove themselves because they want to be liked, they want a sense of belonging, they want to be part of the crew, whatever the score is, prove, got to do this, got to do that, got to do the other. And was that bringing you joy? And did you feel you had any friends at that point in time?
No. Do you remember me crying in your office about it?
And I can say that because I know now it's not true, which is awesome. But now you're like, no, I'm carving my path. I'm going in this direction. Anyone who wants to come and hang out with me and come on this journey with me, come on, we'll go. But you're not worried whether anyone's with you or not. But what happens is when we go into that phase or that stage in our lives and we start carving our own path, we become like a friend magnet.
Well, I kind of noticed it at uni, like when I had my down bit and then I talked to you, and I was like, oh, actually, I'm doing this thing for people that like my values don't actually align with, and that like maybe they aligned at the start, and then I started hanging out with different people who I actually enjoy being with, enjoy spending time with, and like I was able to like go study with them, go hang out with them, like go to flat parties with them and stuff like that, like actually hang out with people who I enjoyed with, like Tash and stuff like that. Oh, you like this? I've got a friend, she plays professional cricket.
Oh, that's super. Do you go and watch her games?
Well, no, she plays for Otago, but like for the Sparks. But I told her if she plays here, I'll come watch. But yeah,
Brilliant.
like people who, the bad thing is that like, not the bad thing, but it's just a working thing, is that the people who I was trying to please aren't the people I'm flirting with next year. But like I've found a way to kind of get away from them and still keep both relationships balanced, but do things for me. And I found a lot happier and hanging out with like some old Iona girls and stuff like that. Like it was really cool. And I realized that it's who you surround yourself with, and that they should be helping you, not putting you down, kind of thing.
You know, like, isn't it amazing to work this stuff out when we, like, you are working out some things that people my age in their 50s are still working out. But we are the sum of the people we have around us, and we should have people around us who encourage us, who will tell us the truth when we go off track too. Like, they'll be honest with us and say, actually, Margot, what are you doing? This isn't good for you. But they'll also, because they have your interest in you at heart, as opposed to people who are all there to look good. And when, you know, things don't quite go right, they're very quick to drop you like a hot potato. But it's most people, I would say most people, probably 80% of the world, probably a bit higher, don't get that. They don't get it until it's kind of too late. So I think that's great that you've worked it out now. I think it, and it is. There's two things when you get married, not that you're at that stage yet, but you want to yoke yourself. In other words, you want to have connection on values and vision. You can be two completely polar opposite people enjoying completely different things in life. But if your values are in alignment and where you want to go is in alignment, you've hit gold. And I think that doesn't just align for marriage. I think that also aligns for people that you have around you in your life. They can be really different to you. But if their values are for goodness and for kindness and for lifting people up and getting the best out of life and being the best they can be, whether it's a cricketer or a farmer, it's the same principles. If you're going to focus on what your zone of genius or your field of favor, it doesn't matter what your field of favor is, but you focus on the thing that you're good at, and you hang out with other people who are focusing on what they're good at. And guess what? When you all hang out together, you all, like, as the tide rises, you all rise. It's great. Hey.
Yeah, it's cool as, and it was like a lot more enjoyable once I kind of realized that again.
Yes. And I think that's the other part of this too, is we do, like, the course that you did is what I call my firecracker course. It gets people going, it gets them out of a rut, it gets you fired up, you find your value, you find your identity, you find your purpose, boff, you're off on the way. But it's not, you know, like, it, life carries on and life does this and it does curly things. And so there will be ups and downs, and you can come back and check in. But also it's like, actually, we need good people around us because things will happen at times. And I'm not the answer to everybody. I get people going and I can be there, but I'm not living your life. I'm not at uni. You need other good people around you at that time. Oh my goodness. I just love that. When the phone goes, you're halfway through an interview. There you go. It's just as well I'm going to have somebody to edit this. Anyway, boom! I think we've nailed it. So, Margot, thank you for just sharing a little bit of what you do and how you're seeing it. And I wish you all the best for this summer holidays, getting your 10 weeks in that you need to do on dairy to make sure, again, it's setting you up for success for the next step next year and beyond. I know you're going to be a superstar as long as you're doing it for you and not for anybody else.
Yeah.
And keep in touch. But that's been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for everything, Sally.
It's a pleasure. You know what? I get to do the best job in the world because I've been given this course from God, you know, it's from above, but I've been given it. And then I give you all the tools. And then I watch people go from sad or unhappy or unfulfilled or whatever it is that and then they're on fire. And so I get to see people have fun. Like, best job in the world. Keep up the good work, because that makes me happy. And I know it's not about me, it's about you. So do it for you, but I'll be happy witnessing as you go along.
Thanks, Sally.